resolved Tuesday, not have to wait. Like
Well, that's-
wait until next month and see what happens and what happens.
Well, that's, you know, I've had several calls about it, and, it seems to me like we gotta have water if it's all
Yeah.
possible.
I agree. I mean, I've had calls from all over the county from people that live on the roads that we know probably, if they do get water, it's 20 or 30 years down the road because they live in such remote areas. But to get calls from 37 where the water line's actually there, it's just so hard to explain to them. They want water, they want it now. So anything you can do to work through this problem to bring water to the people of 37, I beg of you to move forward and make that happen.
I've been in the same situation as those people. I packed water for 20-some years to cook and drink with, and we even packed water from the river and washed clothes with for years and years. And I know what it is not to have water. I didn't want to, you know, I hated to take advantage of the district, but what they were saying, you know, that it's still doable without discussing with somebody else, myself first.
Well, you know, this commission, they appoint members to these PSDs to take the responsibility and take it seriously and to carry out the job, the responsibility to get water, get the bills paid. And it's a serious business, as you well know, and a lot of responsibility. But the driving force has to be to get the water. And like Mr. Ramey says, all we got to do is make some type of an agreement and let the water flow. And we got 2 years. I just read that agreement that instead of one, be two. That they stand behind their work. But I know that the pictures I looked at, a little spooky, some of them were. Things that maybe the way the water lines were put in, but I guess being that Monday morning quarterback, it just seems to me like any of those type of things should have been corrected or made sure of before they were covered it up.
Yeah. I think we learned a lot on this project. The county, for our next project, things may go a little bit different.
Certainly
We will be in a predicament again.
It's been, and you know, it started under different people and whatever, and so it's always hard to make that transition. But we just have to make the best of it. And you know, I remember I drove to Charleston, and it was the most dangerous day there ever was. It was snow, bad, and in order to the water meeting to try to get Chris Jarrett and them to let us move forward because we were about to lose the project.
I sat out on 34 that morning for 3 hours. They had the road closed because the garbage truck had turned over.
Yeah, it was
And I knew the meeting would be over by the time I got there, but I went ahead and went anyway.
well, and the girl, the Napper girl, over on 37, I met her at Midway. We went on together. It was terrible, but we felt like it had to be done if we were going to get water on 37. And it did happen. I mean, they agreed to give us the additional money and approve the project. So we can't quit now.
I think if that
Whatever
was made on Tuesday, they can start installing meters as soon as Wednesday.
That's what I thought too.
How many people's getting water?
About 215.
How many?
About 215 homes.
215. Well, you guys just do the best you can. Let the water flow. Anyone else? All right.
I would take this time, if there's nothing else on the agenda, to at least reflect on a very important person this state just lost in Senator Byrd. When you sit in this room and you see former Commissioner Buster Stowers' photo, and then on the same wall, Senator Byrd, and know that we've lost both of those individuals in such a short time. And I just didn't want to leave this meeting without at least us reflecting on him. And just to give one quick story, about Senator Byrd. As I was raised in a household of union members, and I always saw Senator Byrd as a champion of working families, I started to watch as I grew up and followed the things he was involved in, and I followed the movement to protect coal miners and black lung benefits and other important issues that face coal miners and working families. And when I was old enough to be involved in some of my own issues, I was involved with education reform, and right after the incident at Columbine, when the students brought guns into the schools, Senator Byrd immediately responded by pulling together a symposium at WVU and bringing in people from all over the state that were experts on school violence and education leaders, and sat in the audience and never really been at anything Senator Byrd was a part of until that symposium. And as I listened to him talk about the students and what's going on, the disconnecting communities, and leaving that symposium and following him through other important issues, including the recent war, and you take a step back and realize that some people can't say what we've been able to say. We can actually say that we had a senator that was a true representative of the people. He was not owned by lobbyists, which I don't think many other states can claim when it comes to their U.S. senators. He spoke from the heart, and even though he spent the majority of his time in Washington, D.C. over the last several decades, he never lost touch with the people of this state. And I think it's going to be a hard for this state to move forward, because each of us, we know things that Senator Byrd tackled that was important to us. And we've, in a way, lost a little piece of ourselves, and we lost a leader that will never be replaced. But as a result of him being a senator, this is a better state, and we can be proud of that.
Well said. Anyone else? We have on the bottom of our agenda for the adjournment, next meeting is July the 15th, but the August 5th meeting, due to vacation planning, and it wasn't coordinated the best that we maybe could have done better, but we've overlapped that. So at that time, with that, I'm going to ask that the August 5th meeting be stricken. And we'll probably just have one meeting in August, the 3rd and 3rd.
Do we need a motion to that effect?
Probably should. And the only thing I'm hesitant about is trying to work with the public hearing, unless we need a special meeting before the 15th. We just look at that calendar and make sure that we don't miss the November election thing in order to get the public hearing for the two levies of fire and ammo slab. So,
We may have to have a special one.
yeah, we may do it. We'll figure that out. But I would entertain a motion to cancel the August 5th meeting.
So moved.
And I'll second it. Nothing else, we'll take a motion to adjourn until July the 15th at 10 a.m. I'll second. We stand adjourned at 7.